Welcome to the future, where the glass is half full and you'll need new glasses, where you'll be jumping from conclusions.
The past is annulled, and a new future is born.
Never before in history has so much meant so little to so many. AD on the radio.
So, this happened last night.
Traded over here because of Sanchez success.
Here's a ground ball right side, could do it. The Houston Astros are world champions for the first time in franchise history.
I get chills watching it again. Oh, it's a freaking best. Go Astros! To those of you listening in California, sorry.
I'm glad I slept through most of that game, man.
Oh, you didn't watch? You're from Los Angeles.
I watched the first. I knew they'd mess up. You know, they'd been here before. It's the typical thing here with the LA Dodgers. They get so close and then they trip at the very end.
What?
So, yeah, no, I didn't have any. Yeah, everyone's like, I drove by Dodger Stadium this morning. Everyone was lined up trying to get in. And I'm like, why are you guys wasting your time?
Did you say that out loud to them?
Yeah, it's 3-3.
That must have gone over well.
We all know it's going to happen. It happens every time this way. They're going to choke. They're going to flip-flop at the end, and that'll be it.
That is wildly unoptimistic of you, Funkhouser. But as it turns out, you were right. What if the Dodgers lost because you didn't believe? What about that? Huh? You ever think of that?
Nope.
Oh, man. It was so great. I mean, look, if you've listened to this show like ever at all, you know that I am a massive, massive Mets fan. That doesn't wash out. That's part of my DNA. That's forever. But my baseball hierarchy of loyalties goes Mets, Astros, and then whoever the hell is playing against the Washington Nationals. But having made Houston my home for over 10 years, first and foremost, if you're a Mets fan, there's a lot of similarities. Both teams became a team in the same year. Both teams involve a lot of orange and blue. And the other thing is both teams have diehard fans that have been with them thick and thin. It's not an easy thing being an Astros fan. When I first moved to Houston, do you know what they called the Astros, Funkhouser?
Uh-oh, what?
The Lastros, just because they were so accustomed to them being in last place. You know, they're so accustomed to them losing 100+ games a year. And
you get one for having that first time in franchise history. You can take that award.
It's pretty cool. Like, I mean, it's pretty well. You know what though? I mean, here's the thing. Game 7 of the World Series, the best teams in baseball. No matter what you say about your Los Angeles Dodgers, Funkhouser, it could have gone either way. They were so unbelievably evenly matched. But I have to thank our Houston Astros. Houston has been through so much recently. Hurricane Harvey, people lost lives, people lost businesses, people lost homes, people lost everything. And when the people of Houston needed them, the Astros had been there for us. The Astros gave us something to rally around. The Astros gave all of us in Houston something to feel good about when Houston needed literally anything to feel good about. What the Astros meant to Houston after Hurricane Harvey, it reminded me so much of what my Mets and my Yankees meant to New York City after 9/11. Took your mind off your troubles, gave you something positive, gave you something to be happy about. This year, at some points, it really felt like the Houston Astros had the entire city of Houston on their backs, and the Astros had lifted Houston up. You talk to some of the Astros about what happened post-hurricane, and they kept pictures in their lockers of the devastation caused by Houston Harvey, and they said they made sure to keep those pictures not only in the locker room, but I think it was George Springer who said he kept a picture of the devastation post-Harvey at eye level in his locker so that when he came in, he knew these were the people that he was fighting for when he went out on the field. And when he came out, if he'd had a lousy game, it didn't matter. His problems were so small and insignificant. And all he had to do was go out there for 3 hours a night, play with all of his heart, and give the people of Houston something to believe in and something to feel good about. And that's what they did. And that's, yes, first time in franchise history, Funkhouser. That, of course, is significant. But they lifted an entire city up when it really needed it. And I'm sure Houston will lift them up in exchange. But
is there going to be like a parade or anything? Probably.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, probably multiple parades.
Ticker tape.
I'm guessing there has to be. And it's crazy. It's crazy. There's so much that can happen in a few years, but I don't know. The thing that everybody's talking about, back in 2014, the Astros were presumed to be at least a few years away from reaching their potential. But I don't know if you remember this. We'll talk about it next. But do you recall what Sports Illustrated did in 2014?
No. Uh-oh.
Let's start the show.
Where the left and right come together for fundamental truths. AD on the radio, on Twitter at ADSXE.
So Houston back in 2014, I don't know if you caught it or not. It was. You know how you say that you can see into the future, Funkhouser, and you call yourself Funkstradamus?
Yeah,
is that what you call yourself when you accurately predict what's going to happen?
Yeah, he will strike again.
So back in 2014, the Astros were, well, you looked at how they were playing, you looked at their record, and you thought, they're definitely improving. They're getting somewhere, but they're not quite hitting their stride just yet. And for that reason, it was a big, big surprise to a lot of people when Sports Illustrated printed a cover of George Springer of the Astros hitting, and it said, "Your 2017 World Series champions," which is pretty incredible. It's very, very, very specific, because George Springer being the guy that's on the cover, well, I'm sure you caught it, and if you didn't, but after the Astros beat the Dodgers 5-1 to win their very first World Series, the prediction being true, the fact that they used a photo of George Springer on the cover was very, very interesting, considering he was named the World Series MVP after hitting home runs in 5 of the 7 games. He's the first ever Major League Baseball player to hit home runs in 4 consecutive World Series games. It was insane. It was really kind of a spooky moment. Whoever decided to run that cover over at Sports Illustrated, man, that guy or girl has got a ticket to ride for life. They're set. Like, hey, you know who decided to put that George Springer picture and say they were going to win the World Series on the cover back in 2014? That was me. Well, come right this way, sir. Can we offer you a ham in addition to a home and a big signing bonus for you to come over here? That's my thing. I always feel
ham?
like I have this fantasy that's probably personal to me, right? Like, but back in the day, I remember
that in your docket?
My father got some sort of really nice corporate gift from someone, and it was like a ham from Harrods. Harrods is this like fancy English store. They're this big fancy English department store, and
did you have to go pick it up, or
no? I think the ham just showed up, but like there was this incredible ham that arrived one Christmas that was a corporate gift, and I was like, one day I'll do something good at work.
One day I'll have all the ham.
I'll get a ham too. Yeah, like Patton Oswalt said. I want all the ham. No one's given me a ham yet, but George Springer deserves a ham. And whoever the hell decided to put him on the cover of the Sports Illustrated in 2014 saying World Series champions, they deserve a ham too. So congratulations, Astros. Go Stros. You earned history. You earned it. So proud of you. So happy for the people of Houston. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing. And you know what? Even if your team was nowhere near the World Series, even if your team was the Los Angeles Dodgers, sorry, you can hear my voice is still
burnt.
completely fried from screaming at the TV all night long. Well, for the past several weeks since the postseason started, but it offers you the idea that there's hope. There's always hope. All right.
But baseball's done now, right? For the year?
Yeah. You know what? I never did it in the past, but literally baseball's the only thing that makes me happy. Like, I don't have anything anymore. Like, I used to have music. Don't have time for that. I used to go outside. Don't have time for that. I used to exercise. Don't have time for that. Ever since I've clawed my way to middle management at corporate America, I don't have anything that I can do that makes me happy except for watch baseball. So I think I'm going to start watching minor league games during the off season. I'm like weighing the price of the package. Because it's just, it's just what makes me smile. Watching a home run hit, watching a base hit,
football,
watching somebody. I can't do it. Can't get into it. Can't get into. See, like, I grew up in England, obviously, but not obviously, but if you've listened to the show for any length of time, we've talked about this once or twice in the past. I grew up in England, and my school had a baseball team, and I played baseball with my dad, but we had no football team. And I played rugby. I played rugby and I played baseball. And man, there's just, no real way to follow American sports. You got to remember, this was pre-internet. This was England was really slow off the mark at getting anything beyond 4 channels. You know what I mean? Like in the 80s and early 90s, I think they got a 5th channel in the mid 90s. And some people had satellite TV, but it was a real sort of luxury item, and it wasn't available everywhere. And my parents were hippies, so my mom was deeply chagrined that we had a television in the house at all. So there was no keeping up with American football, but I got to play baseball, and then I was allowed to stay up late to watch the World Series with my dad when the Mets won in 1986, which forever changed me in a wonderful way. But yeah, no, I can't get into football. And you know what? Football, everything that the league is going through, it's just such a freaking headache right now. It's become, and even before the kneeling, even before Donald Trump got involved, even before football became politicized, I watch sports to get the hell away from CNN. I watch sports to get the hell away from MSNBC. I watch sports to get the hell away from Fox News. I don't want to be bothered by politics while I'm trying to have fun. And the thing about that is, even before it became this nasty politicized mess, I had a big problem with football, because you know what those folks that ran the NFL, you know what the NFL did not do, Funkhouser, until the year 2015?
No, what?
Pay taxes. The NFL didn't pay taxes until 2015, and I knew about this, and I was like, this doesn't make any of you, all my super right-wing friends in Houston when we do talk radio that love football, I'm like, it doesn't make your blood freaking curdle that these people aren't bent over by Uncle Scam like the rest of us. Where's the libertarian in you? How is that fair? How is that constitutional? And they're like, well, we like football. I was like, F football. They don't pay taxes.